We're talking with Bill Mosiello, who's in his second year as the manager of the Cedar Rapids Kernels here in the Midwest League. And Bill, I'm not even going to attempt to go through your resume because it would take us a good 10 minutes or so. But it's a very impressive resume. Many years coaching in college with such powerhouse programs as Arizona State, Southern Cal, Cal State Fullerton, Tennessee. You spent time managing and coaching in the New York Yankees minor leagues. So, the phrase baseball man is what comes to mind because there are people like you who they spend their entire lives in baseball, and you've had the unique combination of both amateur and professional. So that's where I'd kind of like to start, is that I'd like to talk about what are the differences between amateur and professional, because I know a lot of fans will ask questions about, for example, where does college ball compare to the lower levels of the minor leagues?
Everything goes about how you approach it. To me, I've been just blessed to have all the opportunities to be around so many special players and special programs and special people. The game is the exact same game. It just depends on how you go about it and how you approach. All my college stops, I taught the game exactly the same way I do professionally. We were trying to develop college players to be professional players, to be good winning players, exactly what the Angels do. So there's really no difference. Obviously, you swing an aluminum bat, but that's about where it stops. I mean, each player has a different set of skills. Each player, my job is to get them to develop a winning player, and that's what I've done through the 23, 24 years.
Well, certainly there's one fundamental difference, is that with one, you're being paid, it's a job, and with the other one, they're supposed to be students, but at the same time, many of them want to go on to a professional career. The distinction between the two, when you've got guys who maybe are playing for money than others who aren't.
Well, when you're as fortunate as me to be at the places I've been, every player that actually signed a scholarship to come to your school, obviously he knew education was important and he wanted to get his degree. But all the schools that I was at, when he came there to play baseball, he wanted to play professional baseball and get his degree and kill two birds with one stone. So, but we treated them the same. They wanted to be a professional player. These guys, we treat them to become in the big leagues. In college, you wanted them to get a chance to play professionally. My job as myself as a coach, it may look at it differently, is obviously I want all of our players to play in the big leagues, but I'm trying to develop men. Good men that do things the right way, that are disciplined, that care about each other, that understand there's more to life than just baseball, that being a good teammate, being a good person is part of their development as a person. As I learned throughout the years, the guys that developed good human skills, they developed good baseball skills. So to me, it went hand in hand. So I never one time in my mind knew that anything was different than the other. Now in college, obviously you knew they had to go to study hall and they had other things that they had to do. So part of your time frame and the hours that you had to work under, that are reformed by the NCAA, you had restrictions. Here, obviously, you don't. But to me, my job's never changed. I get to coach quality, great people, and it's just a blast.
Well, you used the word discipline, and in the 3 days that I've been here so far, everybody's having a great time, but from what I've seen, the schedule here is very disciplined, and I don't want to use the word disciplinarian in the sense that you're standing over them with a bullwhip, but everything's running on a clock, everything's very well scheduled, and you're making sure that they stay focused, which is sort of a hallmark of the way that this organization is run. But, as you said, it seems like you just fit into the philosophy here perfectly.
Yeah, it's worked perfect. It was a great fit. That's why I chose the Angels when I had to decide if I'm going to get back into professional baseball. Do I want to get back into college? The Angels are where I wanted to be. It's a great fit. But the word that I use with these guys from day one is I'm trying to teach them to be professionals. And what a professional does is he's on time. He knows what he's got to do. He knows how to take care of business. We're here to have fun. We're here so many out. We're having fun. We do that. Part of having fun is playing winning baseball and being disciplined, being on time. So it all goes hand in hand. And we run a little tight ship here, but it's just the way it is. It's not just here. It's not something I invented. We do this throughout the Angel organization. I've been blessed. One of the pluses of being with the Angels is even a low A minor league manager like myself, I get to go to big league spring training, and I find out that everything we do here is everything they do at the big league level. They're professionals. They're on time. They do things right. Nothing is done half-heartedly. Everything's done game-like. So that's exactly what we do. So it's neat for me to see firsthand that, hey, even though I demand it here in the big leagues, it's a little bit different. It's going to be the exact same thing. And we've all been blessed, and what a special place this Angel organization is.
And I've been blessed to have been around this from the very moment that Bill Stoneman and Mike Sosha took over back in late 1999. So I've had an opportunity to see that evolve. And one of the things that really impresses me, as you mentioned, you get a chance to go to Big League Spring Training Camp, and I see several of the instructors, or Rover certainly, go up to the parent club in September. But from top to bottom, the whole organization is synchronized. You have the dartfish technology that anybody can go in and take a look at the videos. You have hitting coaches and pitching coaches and yourself, who call in reports after every game. And those are listened to by Mike Sosha, Mickey Hatcher, Mike Butcher, and everybody else. And I don't know how widespread that is, but I've got to think at your level, that's got to be reassuring that you know that everybody up at the top is looking at what's going on down here.
You know, it's unbelievable. You know, let's be honest. It starts with Mike Sosha. This is his organization. There isn't any other managers, to my knowledge, that actually have 10-year contracts that they know that this 16, 17, 18-year-old player is one day going to be his player. And he's got his stamp on everything. It's unbelievable and so refreshing to know that he actually knows who your players are in Cedar Rapids. When I see him in spring training, he can tell you, hey, how do you like that Amarista kid? Or, hey, I saw such and such on film. Man, is he really that kind of player, or does he swing at that many bad pitches like I saw in the video? He knows exactly what's going on from top to bottom. You'll hear from his other staff, like you said, Butcher and Hatcher. Those guys are all in tune. Part of their daily routines with the big club is when they get to the park, Sosha goes over the reports. He listens to the voicemails. He looks on the computer to read the reports. He has it on video. That's part of their daily thing, and it's so refreshing to understand that they really care what's going on here. And I know that other places don't have that same feeling, but I'm not going to take away from other organizations. Maybe there's other big league managers that do that, but all I can care about and talk about is what Mike Sosha does, and it's unbelievable. He knows who the guys are. When we send a guy in big league spring training up for the big leagues, he actually knows what the guy looks like, what his strengths and weaknesses are, has a little idea of what his personality already is from the reports that we have, so it's unbelievable. And it's really neat for myself to be accountable and knowing, although I've always been accountable and I've always had that belief, but now knowing that, hey, what you're doing here, he'll know if the guys aren't going first to third. He knows if we can't handle our bunting game. He knows if we're not playing winning style of baseball. So it makes you do even a better job.
Last question I'm going to ask you about is your own personal roster. You've got 3 boys by the name of Shane, Gehrig, and Helton. And I'm guessing at least one of those, if not maybe 2, and perhaps all 3, have baseball-derived names. So where did the 3 names come from?
You know, actually all 3 of them do. My oldest son is Shane. He's named after Shane Mack, who played a 12-year big league career, a couple of World Series with the Minnesota Twins, finished up with the Royals, but he played with the Red Sox, a lifetime 300 hitter. He grew up in my hometown of Cerritos, California. I always liked the name. I thought he was a special person, so that's who we named the first one after. And then Gehrig, actually, obviously, is after Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse. And then my son Helton's one of the players that I coached. Todd Helton with the Colorado Rockies, one of my favorite. I liked him. He was a special person to myself and my family, so we named the newest addition, a 3-year-old named Helton. So they're all baseball people. What would you expect? I'm a baseball lifer. That's the only thing I've known. God has blessed me so much to be involved in this game around so many special kids. So that's one of my ways of giving respect to those players and to showing my love for baseball.
And did your wife come from a baseball background, or she just learned to roll with it?
You know, we dated enough years before we were married. We're married 15 years. She knew I was a strange bird. I'm not the most normal person. So she came into this thing knowing, thank goodness, she's so loving and caring so much for baseball, and she loves our kids. And it's, you know, the kids, they don't have a choice. Of course, they play baseball. The 3-year-old can't wait for me to coach his T-ball team in the off season. He tells me daily. You know, with some of those come some pitfalls. Unfortunately, they have my genes a lot. I wasn't the greatest player, obviously, so my love and passion, hopefully I can teach them to maybe overcome some limitations they may have physically.
Well, Bill, thank you very much for your time. In the 3 days I've had a chance to see you, you know, every once in a while I'll see a manager or a coach, and I just get this feeling in my gut this guy's going to go places in this organization. And I actually told Mike Butcher that a couple of years before he made it to the big league club as the pitching coach. So I kind of got a feeling that sometime in the not-too-distant future, Angels fans are going to see up in Anaheim. So thank you very much again for your time.
Thank you, Stephen, and we really appreciate what you do for the farm system to help the parents stay up track with the kids, and actually a lot of our fans that pay attention to the young players. So we really appreciate it.
Thanks again, Bill. I appreciate it.